Hello and welcome back to the Football Fan Zone podcast. Uh, it feels like it's been a minute since we got together and talked ball. I don't know if it actually has, but we had the FA Cup weekend. All of our teams are out of that. So who cares? Who really cares, Like, stupid cup. Very silly cup. No heritage.
No disrespect the oldest
Mickey Mouse,
competition.
man.
Come
Mickey
on.
Mouse trophy, man.
Mickey Mouse trophy for Pep to use to shine his shoes for next year, but it's all good.
Wow.
It was a dead weekend, to be honest, because there just weren't that many exciting fixtures. I feel like this year a lot of the cup games have been a little underwhelming. It feels like it's two managers trying not to get their players injured.
Yeah.
Like, can we just survive the game, no injuries, and we're all good? So credit to some very, very interesting quarterfinalists, or I think what are we in, semis or no, quarterfinalists? The likes of Palace, the likes of Fulham, Forest, Brighton. So pretty interesting field. Obviously, I think everyone would say the favorites are City, although they haven't exactly played very convincing this year. But I think it's the magic of the cup really this year, because a lot of teams are finding themselves in very, very good position to break long streaks of trophylessness. Yeah. Of course, you won't see my Spurs there.
I'm just happy Manchester United are not going to scam their way to a trophy.
Yeah, they're not scamming this one, because you know they were going to parade it all summer from 15th place, loud as hell. But anyways, this isn't the weekend to rag on Man United. They did everyone a solid this weekend.
Yeah, look at Pirates, man. Look at Pirates.
So shout out United. One thing I would say this. So we're all kind of strapped for time. So we're trying to do a very short and potent episode of the podcast. So one thing I can guarantee you, viewers, you won't hear peep about the white half of London from this side, not from this side of the table. I got nothing to say. I'm not gonna say a word.
Man, actually, you guys
you have my guarantee. Whether we had 2 hours or we have 30 minutes, I'm not saying a word on that team.
Solid,
they don't deserve my spit.
Look, Kepa, man. Look, nice one, bro. Nice one. Like, yeah.
Kepa is an enigma. I'll say that. There are very few enigmas left in the game, and he's one of one. One of one. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, we're definitely not discussing Kepa on this episode. But there's nowhere else to start. With no further ado, all of our clubs are gonna have to do it. So I figured we might as well start the show off with me and Adams giving Pius his rightful guard of honor. Come on, Adams. Come on.
Well, it's not yet confirmed.
We done our cap.
Thank you, guys.
So obviously, Liverpool have won the league. Barring, I think, the most monumental collapse in the history of all of sports.
Yeah.
Not even just football, golf, tennis, and fencing. What's that one that they scrape ice? What's that that they play in the Olympics? Any sport in history, barring the biggest collapse in history, Liverpool have clearly won the title, and you have to say they are rightful champions based on the level of competition this season. I think they were faultless, they were flawless, they were spotless. They passed every test. They rose to every occasion. Every time they seem to be in a dicey situation, by their doing or by the doing of the teams that are in the race with them, they found a way to come out with flying colors. So credit to Slot, credit to Mo Salah, who's put himself in a Ballon d'Or conversation. And I know, sometimes we have the North and South and West Africa like rivalries and who's African, who isn't. What he's doing is special for African football, period. Because at the end of the day, whether or not there's, politics around identity and etc., we know that he represents the African continent when he puts on a jersey. So credit to him. Credit to guys like Alisson, Van Dijk. These are people that are putting themselves in all-time conversations. I'll say conversations because I know all the wahala that's been going on recently about keepers and stuff. So I don't want to trigger anybody. But yeah, credit to all of them. I don't even have a question to ask because at the end of the day, I think every question that we had has been answered over the past week and a half. So I'm just gonna I'm just gonna give the mic over to Pius, who can rightfully adorn his players and his management and etc. with all the praise and love that they deserve. And we're gonna cut him off in about 30 seconds because we don't want to hear about it. Go ahead, Pius. The floor is yours.
Yes, thanks. So thanks for the guard of honor. More of that over the coming weeks. Yeah. So but for Liverpool, it's been amazing. The season has been, to be honest, if you ask majority of Liverpool fans, it's been beyond our wildest expectation. Coming into this season, the majority of the fan base, where the expectation was, well, let's just stay in the top four, at least guaranteed Champions League football, and then if we can add any other sort of cups, FA Cup or Carabao Cup, that would be nice. But and his slot has come in, and and he has changed our lives. He has made things. I just, most of the time I wake up, anytime I think about Liverpool, there's a smile on my face. I'm like, yeah, this is something I'm looking forward to. So it's been amazing. The team. First of all, let me give props to Arne Slot. At first, when he came in, before he came in, I tried to read up on him because I didn't really know so much about him. The only time I sort of knew him was when he coached the final team to I think, the Conference League final against Mourinho's Roma, and he lost that final. So that was the only time I was like, okay, this is an slot, and then he has turned out to be a good appointment. I think he's coming to, with his own. He's someone that I think he doesn't have that. I don't know. It feels like if you are looking at him from the outside, he doesn't have that charisma. He doesn't look like someone that had that club, But it seems like when you hear the players speak, they say he's someone that he's very honest, he's very brutal. He doesn't waste any time in passing his message across. So I think the players. I think one thing about a manager is when you're coming into a team with big players, you need to put stamp your feet down. Especially a club like Liverpool, where you have players like Van Dijk, Salah, players with egos. You really need to put your feet down at the first day because the players will be looking at you, and if they smell any sort of fear or hesitancy, it could sort of derail you and derail like your tenure at that particular football club. So I think he's done well in that part. And then in terms of his technical expertise, I think he's been second to none. I think his knowledge of the game has shown throughout the way Liverpool has approached games. And I think something I would say has made him different from Klopp is ways been able to adapt to games. I'll pick out the game against Manchester City away from home. I think that was a professional performance. Played the game without a recognized striker, disrupted Man City's sort of stifled their attack. He's just so adaptable, and kudos to him. So fair play to him. I think he's obviously going to win the manager of the season, even though that's going to be up for debates. But I think he should be the winner for manager of the season. No, you're shaking your head. I think some people have sort of mentioned if Nottingham Forest qualifies for the Champions League
I
and
don't
wins the
think.
FA Cup. Some people said no, Santo might deserve it.
If they win the FA
So
Cup, right? Yeah, you're right.
yeah. So that's still, we have to see how this unfolds. And let's not also forget things can change within a short time. There's a lot of talk about Liverpool fans about the treble. This week alone, the treble can just turn to just single because if you get knocked out the Champions League and then you can lose the Carabao Cup final to Newcastle. So there goes the treble talk. So yeah, but fair play to Arne Slot. Now let me come to Mo Salah. Just like you said, there's you've run out of superlatives. He's having an all-timer season. Like anytime I see a Mo Salah start or I see Mo Salah news article, I'm always so excited because it feels like something is like we've not like there's something humongous that's going to happen at the end of the season. Like his numbers are going to be there. Like they're going to be like he's going to seal his legendary status in the Premier League and in Liverpool Football Club. Right now, he's the third highest goal scorer in Liverpool's history, behind the great Ian Rush and I think Roger Hunt also. So that is elite company as well for Mo Salah. So as in he's already a club legend, and this title, wow, well deserved. I always felt like if Mo Salah Van Dijk, Alexander-Arnold, and maybe the goalkeeper Alisson left Liverpool with just one Premier League title, I would have felt, as in, I would have said football is very, very unfair because I felt like those guys over the years have deserved just more than one Premier League title. So people argue that two Premier League titles is still not what they deserve or is least of what they deserve. But sometimes, like they say in life, you get what you deserve. So maybe two Premier League titles for the Liverpool career is what they deserve. So I'm just excited. That's another thing that's making me excited. I feel like the players over the years have given their all, especially those key players. Like they've been, senior players, they've been sort of sensational for most of the time. So I think they deserve that Premier League title. And then this season as well, what can you say? Van Dijk he has not missed a minute of Premier League action, ever present. You know, Salah as well, ever present as well. The goalkeeper has been absent, I think, for 2, 3 months in the season. But fair play to this team. That's why you have a squad of players. And those are the other goalkeeper that have come in has sort of, shown that he's up to the task. So it's been a brilliant season for Liverpool. What else can I say? I don't even know what to say right now. I'm just so happy. I've been singing since yesterday in my head, and sometimes when I'm alone in the house, I'll just be singing champions. Ole. So yeah, I'm so excited. I can't wait for it to be mathematically confirmed. Like I just can't wait. I'm gonna be posting videos, celebration videos, because I think I've, as a Liverpool fan or many Liverpool fans, we've suffered through the years. Throughout my 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 secondary school and university days, I'm always there watching Chelsea fans watching that team lift Premier League titles. Adam is smiling. I think I've seen Adams. I've watched Chelsea win Premier League with Adam before. I've seen Manchester United as well over the years win Premier Leagues titles. You see them when they're celebrating, they are mocking Liverpool as well, singing, "Are you watching Merseyside?" So I think now is the time. I can't wait to to turn the tables on them and tell them that, oh, you are singing. We can't hear you anymore now. It's 20 titles now. We've equaled you. What the number of Premier League titles you've won? So yeah, just for the bragging rights, I'm just excited for about that. I don't care about any other competition. We could crash out to PSG, we could lose the final to Newcastle. Even though you don't want to lose the final, I'm where I am right now. The Premier League is the Premier League. Like Gary Neville will say, the Premier League is the bread and butter. So that is what I want, and yeah, and it looks like my team is going to deliver that for me. So come on, Liverpool, you never walk alone.
I think that's a good like stopping point to caveat to, because you mentioned the other competitions, right? And we know there's been a lot of controversy with the PSG fixture, the red card that never was. Also, people feeling like PSG were the better side and were hard done by, and kind of the fact that they rested their entire squad and they're coming in with this deep desire to put an end to. I guess it feels they don't have that much respect for Liverpool as a team based on how they played. I'm gonna bring Adams in. A lot of people have said like, so Mo is on a Ballon d'Or trajectory for the season, right? Like I'll say he's top three front runners along with Rafinha and maybe Kane or whoever else you want to throw in there. Um, People have said for him to win the, like, I know Pius has said he doesn't care about the other competitions, and that's fair as a fan. For Mo's aspirations to win the Ballon d'Or, how important do you feel like this second leg against PSG is? Because if you crash out against PSG in the quarters, and then you go on to let's say you win or lose to Newcastle, and now you're looking at a Premier League and a Carabao Cup, and then one of these other guys, Rafinha or Kane, goes on to win the Champions League. I mean, what do you feel like, like contrary to what Pius is saying, I feel like for that individual season that he's trying to have, he must minimum get to the last four of the Champions League.
Yeah, absolutely. It's massive. It's massive for him. And thank God Mo Salah is nothing like Pius, because he's not thinking that way. Like he's hyped up, man. He's ready. He's ready to. Like it just feels like this is a statement season for him. Like he has a lot of things to prove. And I wanted to say this is for all fans, rival fans, and all young players. This is how you prove doubters wrong. Because people will ask you, questions will be asked of you. and rival fans will ask questions of your players, and this is how you respond, right? This is the perfect way you respond. And Mo Salah has just proven that right now. And now you have nothing to say anymore, right? You just have nothing to say anymore. You just have to.
Adams, I thought the way you respond is by a hat trick against Wolves away.
Hey man, I never. Let's not even go. Let's not even go there. Let's not go there. Let's not go there.
Nah,
But yeah,
continue.
like Mo Salah is having that amazing season, and I think he'll be hyped up. Newcastle, he'll be ready. PSG at home, he'll be ready. I think is actually. I feel like it's a foregone conclusion because the way Liverpool are playing right now, with the mentality that they have, I think they'll not breeze through, but I think they'll make it past PSG for sure. And Salah is hunting he's hunting down that glory. And a weird part of me feels this is gonna be his last season, and he's using every motivation that he has to get everything out of this season. So yeah,
Like his last season at Liverpool or his last season top flight?
I think at Liverpool,
Okay.
I just feel like he's just want to go. He's just gonna bow out when the ovation is loudest. I don't know. He might come back another season, but if he goes out this season, a Champions League winner, Premier League winner, and maybe a Ballon d'Or winner, that would be absolutely perfect. Like, the last thing we remember of him is that.
Woo.
And yeah, it would be amazing.
If he does that, man, those all-time African player talks are gonna get
Yeah,
very, very spooky.
It's dead in the water.
Scary hours.
It's dead in the water.
Another thing is that I think the AFCON is also this year as well. So
Now let's not get too excited. Just
Listen, I didn't agree with Carragher, but when we're talking all-timer season, I'm telling you, if they're listing accolades, nobody's gonna be like, oh, and he also won AFCON. Like, let's just be honest. Like when it comes to the Champions League, the league, I feel like that's a different territory, because you don't see that many African players as talisman of their club achieve that kind of immortalization. And that's what it would be. It would be an immortalization, the likes that we haven't seen since Messi, Ronaldo levels, because I don't think even the Mbappe, like, he'll win the World Cup, but then crash out in champs, and then PSG will win the league, whatever, who cares? Or Neymar, win the league and Champions League, crash out in the World Cup. Like, it's never a complete package of, like, excellence across the board. And I feel like he's really, but this is how you know how difficult this is that he's already done so much, and there's still so much more that he needs to do. like you can't no show against PSG, you can't no show against Newcastle, you can't no show for the rest of the season. You have to see the season through, and that's why, like, when you look at some of the greats and what they accomplished, I think it's absolutely wrong when people try to minimize things, because it takes an insane level of consistency and dedication to achieve this. For me, my main credit with Liverpool is shout out to Arne Slot, bro. Shout out to Arne Slot. He's made aura-less managers come back into the fray. I remember guys like Mancini, not Mancini, Pellegrini. Just that aura-less manager that has absolutely nothing about him. Just a guy, just standing on the sideline, looking coy, looking like he's happy to be there. He's living his dreams. Arne Slot looks like a guy that downloaded Football Manager for the first time, and he's just so happy that he has the paid version. Somebody gifted it to him for his birthday. He's been playing the bootleg. He burnt one CD, so he doesn't have all the players. Someone finally bought him the full version. He has all the tools, and he just seems like a gifted manager that isn't interested in any of the other hoopla and politics and whatever. He's just there for the X's and the O's. And you know what? Sometimes I love managers like that, reminding people that there's different ways to win. I've always been passionate about just the excellence in different kind of styles. And that's why I hated when Pep came into this league and everybody's just like, we must play this way, we must play that way, we must play this way, we must play that way. There's different personalities. There's different mannerisms. He doesn't do the bravado. He doesn't do the predictions. He doesn't do the mind games. He's giving all his opponents props before every game. He's analyzing their actual weaknesses, their actual strengths. He's telling you where his squad is, what he's trying to get out of this player, why he took this player off, etc. And there's something so refreshing about seeing somebody just do it with no gimmicks, no theatrics. Tired of Pep and his fake "woe is me" they say we spent 400 million, but I have no players. But I win the Premier League. I'm so good. Look at me, guys. And my thing is just do the job. And it's nice. It's a refreshing thing to not see City win the league for one. And it's a refreshing thing to see a different style of management succeed in this league. And to me, that brings me now to the losers bracket.
The elephant in the room.
And yeah, the massive elephant in the room, because we got to touch on it for sure. Arsenal. We've now seen 3 different styles of winning the league, but we've also seen 3 different styles of losing it. And there's been one common denominator in all of this, and it's been Mikel Arteta's Arsenal. And I don't feel like I'm in the best position to speak on this because I feel like it is eerily reminiscent of Poch's Spurs. And I've been saying this all along, that just the finding different unique ways to lose, right? Third in a 2-horse race, like all the different songs that get sung, whatever, out of it by March, bottling it when the pressure is on. I feel like Mikel has found very creative ways to lose out on the league. And so my question is, and I want to start with you, Adams, and go out to Pius, because Pius, like, you've won the league. I'm sure you're going to be full of superlatives or whatever. But how do they pick themselves up from this season and go again? I know there's the injuries. I know there's all these other excuses you can pick from. But next season starts, everybody on equal playing field. How do you get the boys ready to go again? That's 3 years in a row that you finish runners-up, and we're assuming they're going to finish runners-up for the rest of the season.
I think we talked about it a little bit in our last episode, which feels like a million years away. Yeah, they almost have to do like a mini rebuild. It just feels like, because
they got the new director of football.
Yeah. So there has to be new faces in the building, fresh faces in the building. I was telling Pius, I feel like the board almost said to Arteta, it's okay to lose this season. I just get that vibe from him this season. Like, it always felt like they told him it's okay to win this season. Just finish second, qualify for Champions League. We'll back you next season. I don't know why I feel that way, but it just seemed like that's what he's been told, because he has this confidence about him. He feels that, rightly so, right? I mean, he should be proud of what he's done. But yeah, I think we might see a different type of Arsenal in the transfer market next season. I feel like now it might not go their way. You know how it is when you get a lot of money and you're trying to prove a point in the market and you just go buy a bunch of players, then it might turn out. So, but I feel like it's going to be a very big market for them. They're going to sign a lot of players. Already, we know Partey is leaving. We know Jorginho is leaving. Tierney is leaving. So the rebuild is happening before our very eyes already, right? They're letting go of some of their more experienced players, the old guard, and they need to get fresh guys in the door. So, yeah, there has to be a mini rebuild because Arteta isn't going anywhere. And maybe, like you said, Uzo, he might have to reshuffle the pack, his own staff members, right? He might switch some things around. And let's be honest, he's the master of that. Like, he's the master of rethinking things, rejiggling things, reinventing things. Like you said, 3 different ways to bottle a title. So I think for sure we'll see a different type of Arsenal. But I don't know, man. It's getting really scary for them. And I said this season, they have to win something. They had to win something this season. They had to win the Carabao Cup or the FA Cup, something. But it's not looking like that. And it's funny because Liverpool have won the title before they even won the Carabao Cup. I don't think has that ever happened? Oh, no, it probably has, but in a long time, you win the Carabao Cup first before you win the title, right? The Carabao Cup
was designed that way, yeah.
But yeah, I'll go as far as to say, I don't think Arsenal was in a title race this season.
Me neither. I'll back this up, right, Adams? I'll say they were only in a title race because of their name, not the actual production on the pitch. It's just you kept feeling like, oh, but it's Arsenal, and last year they did this. But what does that have to do with this year? There was no evidence. There was no actual performances. There was no chain of results that could have backed up that statement. And I feel like even when they were behind Chelsea and Chelsea weren't in a title race, but Arsenal were in a title race, and they were only 3 points ahead of City, who were apparently finished and not in a title race. So it was very interesting the way we discussed Arsenal specifically. Oh no, they're in a title, and I'm number one on this because even as far as just 2 weeks ago, I was saying, are Liverpool really clear? and a lot of that is just like feeling like, oh, there's a switch or there's something.
Yeah, they have something.
There wasn't.
Yeah.
There wasn't. And that's why for me, I feel like the question about picking themselves up and going again is very intriguing, because when you lose that often and when you lose in this kind of manner, and I feel like when you have no trophies at all to like really rely on, then how do you pick the boys up and go again? And I want to bring Paris in on that note because he suffered some excruciating, painful Premier League title losses, right? And I mean, at least with you guys, you could say, okay, there's a juggernaut, there's this, there's that, whatever. How do you feel like Arsenal fans are going to react to the club next year? Like, do you feel like it's going to be all on the transfer window, like Adams is saying, or do you feel like it's going to be more on the manager and his ability to be inventive, to come up with a new message? What do you think is going to be the primary kind of focus for Arsenal as a football club next year?
I think it's going to be a mixture of both. It has to be a mixture of both. So both the manager's message or the manager's ability to sort of renovate the team, and then what they do in the transfer window. In terms of what they do in the transfer window, right? There's been a lot of talk from we're now in March, since when the January transfer window was open. Oh, they need to get in an attacker, even before those unfortunate injuries that they had to their attacking players happened. There was talk that they needed to sort of boost their front line. Like they didn't think Havertz was delivering. Even the wingers, Gabriel Martinelli and Trossard, were not giving them what they felt in terms of output. So there was always been talk about that front line, and fair enough. I think the numbers show that those guys sort of dropped off from last season, you know. And in terms of Arteta as well, it feels like he needs to. There's been talk of Arteta putting the handbrake on for the Arsenal team, and if you look at the numbers, it seems it's true because they just, even when they had like Saka and the attack line was still sort of fit, you're watching them in games and it didn't feel like they were threatening enough. They were for the opposition. They were creating a lot of chances for the against the opposition, and then going to score those chances. It just felt like they were just, what's the word now? The attack did not. They weren't just, the attack didn't have that bite. It just felt like it was static. It was stale. Sometimes it was boring to watch. Some of Arsenal's games were like, I was just like, do I really want to watch this game? Like, it just felt like there was no excitement. The thing that, in terms of their midfield and defense, I felt like they had the control they needed. In terms of, they were not conceding lots of chances. I think that's something that Arteta has to take props for. I think their defense is good. They concede little chances, and even when they concede the odd chance, they seem like they handle it very well. It just felt like their attack wasn't sort of like didn't have that bite that it needed to win a Premier League title, and then it showed. So I think going into next season, Arteta has to rethink. He has to rejig his his philosophy on how his team will approach games next season. Because I was listening to some sort of analysis, and they were saying the season before last season, Arsenal had 4 players that had that had double figures in terms of number of goals.
Mm-hmm.
Last season, they had 3 players with double figure goals, and then this season they have no player with double figure goals. It just feels like season on their attacking bite has just sort of gone down. I think that has had to do with Arteta's philosophy or changing of tactics and formation. So I think he needs to rethink how his team is going to approach next season, because it's looking like even if they buy a striker and they buy maybe 1 or 2 wingers to sort of rejig their front line or refresh their front line, it doesn't. If they continue playing the way they've been playing for some of the games I've seen them play, especially this second half of the season, it doesn't feel like there'll be any much difference. They're going to control games like we saw against Manchester United. They'll have more ball possession, but other than that, the opposition will just feel comfortable. They won't feel they'll feel like they could deal with whatever Arsenal is going to throw at them, which is not much. So and then once that happens, the opposition team will grow in confidence because once the game is going on and you see that Arsenal is not potent, you then start to fancy your chances of hitting them on the counter. And I think that's what has happened to them in like the last 3 games, where they lost at home to West Ham. And then you saw the Manchester United game yesterday, where Manchester United grew in confidence. You saw in the second half, you even felt like Manchester United were going to go on and win the game. So I think that is a problem for them. So it's just a mixture of both. Arteta, well, change your tactics, change your philosophy, let the team be more expressive, and then see what you can do in the transfer market. I feel for Arsenal fans, maybe as a message of hope to them, I think going into next season, it feels like their squad is best primed to now finally.
Don't we say that every season? We say that every season. We said that. We said that.
You said that. I'm so bored of that.
We said that.
I'm so bored. Phase 5.3. It's okay. At this point,
before you guys coming, I think I was seeing before the Manchester United game they played. I think I was seeing like the Premier League preview, and then I was seeing that there was the season they won the Premier League at Old Trafford. That's third goal. I don't know whether it was 2000, 2001 season. I can't remember the particular season. I think I heard the commentator say after finishing runners up 3 times the previous season, they are now winning the Premier League at Old Trafford. So
please, man, please, Pius,
fourth time might be the charm. Who knows?
Please, man.
But they've been here before. Arsenal fans, they've been here before, so they'll be feeling like they can do it again.
I think
it doesn't feel so.
For me, the reason why I dismiss that is just like, again, we did that. Oh, once City this, it will be Arsenal's turn, and now we've seen Arne Slot come in, and then the new narrative is, oh, Liverpool were owed one for the way that they lost all those like really really close ones. After they get their own, is our turn. Listen, it's such fine margins with this league like that. I feel like at this point, forget about hatred aside. Like, I don't want Arsenal to win the league on a normal day. But now I'm extra invested in them not winning it because it's boring. It's like you've had so many bites at the apple. It's okay. It's not even like you've given it the best of the best go. You can say maybe last season, yeah, a little bit, but you lost to Aston Villa at home 2-0, literally in the middle of the thick of the title race. You just don't do that. So for me, it's like I don't see anything that says, oh, they're due one, they're owed one. They're destined. I don't see any of that. I just see a team that is feeling themselves, smelling their own salt, and feeling like they deserve more than they actually have gone out there to earn.
But I think Adam, the only thing I would say for their defense or as an argument for them for next season is you're looking at the teams that can say, okay, we'll challenge them next season, right? So as a Liverpool fan, I'm looking at my team and I'm like, okay, when we win it this season, going into the next season as defending champions, I'm worried because it looks like we might need to sort of do a rebuild because it looks like Salah will be going, like the key custodians of our team leaving. Salah will be going, Van Dijk will be going. How are we sure that the replacements that will come in for them will be ready to keep Liverpool at that level of them?
Bro, we said this last season. We said the same thing last season. That's what I'm saying.
Exact.
Like, we said it. We were like, oh,
are you sure?
Yeah. If we can go rewind to nobody expected Liverpool.
Nobody was expecting Liverpool to be here.
It was. If City don't. In fact, people were even saying Arsenal were going to win it over City because over the last stretch of games, Arsenal looked like the more deserving team, right? And then here we are again. Arsenal are the classic paper champions. Paper champions are people that the newspapers every year crown them champs before the season starts. They look good. They check every box. Oh, who do they not have? They have the depth. They have this. They have the ability to play different games. They have the set pieces. They blah, blah, blah. What you do on the pitch, what you go out there and earn is what ultimately counts in the end. And I feel like as a fan base, as a club, they have consistently been getting accolades that they haven't actually earned on the pitch. Oh, all-timer shouts. Oh, let's do a combined 11 with Barcelona. Oh, Saka and Martinelli are the new MSN. Like, no. Listen, go earn things on the pitch, and then we can talk. Yeah. And I think right now, Arsenal is in the shut up and prove it.
The one that paid
what Adam started with, That's how you prove your haters wrong.
Yeah.
So now at this point, I don't honestly. If Arsenal spend all season next season at the top of the table, I won't speak on it. Go win it. Just go win it. That's it.
Yeah. I'm with Uzo on this one, and I don't know if you guys are going to be fair, but I've actually given Arsenal a lot of chances, and this is it for me.
More than any of us,
bro. Nah. None of that. You guys, none of that, man. And the one that paid me the most was the Saliba and Gabriel thing. The best Premier League partnership ever. Bro.
With no titles. Imagine that. I would say we could end on that note, but I want to touch on Chelsea because but that's the kind of criminal statements that have been made all through this dynastic Arsenal run of no titles.
Sorry, before you go to Chelsea, one question for you guys. Arsenal are still in the Champions League. Do you give them a chance?
Please, man.
No.
Please.
I just think but no, funny enough, like I have a fair answer. It's because of the route that they have. It's unimaginable to get through the Madrid boys and then get through Liverpool, PSG, or whoever is coming out of that bracket, and then get through potentially a Barcelona or a Bayern in the final. If they win that, that's how you put up a shutout, because that would be a gauntlet.
Yeah,
gauntlet.
I'm sure that their whole season is riding on that, and even they know.
It ain't happening. It ain't happening. This is a competition they've never won. You think they'll win it in the most difficult way possible? We'll see. Sometimes football can be poetic like that. Yeah. But I think football owes a lot of guys. There's a lot of guys that are going for that Champions League that feel like they're owed. They're desperate. Don't be only you. Where did they owe? But to touch on our Conference League champs, though, Chelsea, the first London club to complete Europe, in it. Our in it boys, our wrap up boys, our dreadheads.
Hey man, one thing I'll say, at least we put up a title challenge, man. At least we did.
Hey, I mean, these days anybody can say they put up a charge.
When was that?
If Arsenal challenged, even myself, I challenged. First day of the season, I was in with a shout. I was within 3 points.
Adam, what's happening with our boy? Is he frozen?
Oh man, yeah. You know what? Yeah. What's going on with best player in the league, Cole Palmer? Because that came out of your mouth too. Best player in the league.
I never said that, bro.
Adams, don't make me go find the tape. I will. Adams, you said some things about this boy.
But you know what, man? I'm gonna back
I'm
gonna back my boy. I'm going to back my boy.
You should. You absolutely should.
So yeah, it's not looking good. It's not looking good, but it's a confidence thing. It's a confidence thing, and
players like that shouldn't rely on confidence. So when you're that level, I'm just saying.
It's a confidence thing.
That's a bad sign.
No, come on. It's
a confidence thing, and I'm sure.
So you never find out the age of a player until he starts playing, but that's when they'll tell you how old he is. When he was freezing cold, they weren't telling you his age.
But that's the thing, man. Yeah, that's the thing. He needs to. Yeah, when he was going good, we all praised him, and now it's time for us to have some difficult conversations with him. Right? He's been terrible. He's been really bad. And one thing I hate is that he's trying to play. I hate when players are trying to play through the moment, like looking for a goal. I don't like that, especially when you're an attacker, right? You just play and it'll happen when it happens. Already, like the 4th minute of the game, he was already looking for a pen. I didn't like that. Against Southampton as well, he was doing everything possible to score, and he was becoming really selfish. So I was trying to look back at players, like top players that have gone through a patch, and I couldn't remember anyone. Maybe the one that came to my mind was Harry Kane when he turned in that transfer request, and he didn't. Yeah,
there was a period of his career where he would never score from August all the way to like mid-September, and then he'll start scoring. So that was normal.
But
for him,
like Uzo said, it might be a bad sign. It might be a bad sign, and. But as fans, from a Chelsea perspective, right, we need to back our boy. Like, he's done the business for us. But the only positive is at least we're not a Kopama FC. That's the only thing we can say. At least we could find other ways to win. Yeah. So yeah,
He eats paella.
it's not looking good, bro. It's not looking good for him. That pen miss, because penalties where he's staying, right? That's
Yeah.
how he's made. That's how he made his name. That's how he came into his own. And you just knew. And that's the thing about football, right? Well, once it's going wrong for you, like he's going wrong.
Everything goes.
And
Everything goes.
yeah,
You can't wear your shokoto. You can't even wear your tie.
you can't. And you can't. And look, I liked Maresca, man. Maresca took him off. I don't want to hear any of those excuses that he had diarrhea or whatever. Take him off. Like, he's thinking of the place. Take him off. And yeah, he needs to now re-earn his place as that guy again. And if I'm other guys on the team, I'm looking at that sport. If I'm Nkunku, I'm like, hey man, look, you guys.
Why not me?
Yeah. You prematurely.
It was me until you guys bought this guy when I was injured.
Yeah.
It was me.
Exactly.
So why not me? Yeah.
So I'm looking at that and I'm going, okay, Sancho, Noni, all these guys need to start. I know those guys don't have that type of mentality, but especially in Nkunku, I'm looking at him to step up and take that place. But yeah, I don't really know what to say.
But that's the beauty of sports, though, Adams. Is if someone would have told me that Dele Alli would go from being worth 100 million and wanting to go to Real Madrid to trying out for Como FC, you know what I mean? In the middle of what is supposed to be his prime. Like, I'm not saying that's cold, but it's just football is such a fast-moving, update your resume kind of sport. And honestly, I don't want to hear. I've seen some people kind of scoff and say, "Oh, like y'all really doing this about Cole? He'll be fine." Do you know that? Why do you know that? What has he done that is so unique that we haven't seen being done, and then the person flashed away? I've seen. Like, no disrespect. I've seen Oscar have worldies, right? And Oscar he's a legend-ish, but he ain't like the guy, right? So it's not out of the realm of possibility.
It's not.
That you go on to have a middling career or even a decent career. We've seen Jack Grealish look like a world beater, go to City, fall off, just completely fall off the map. So for me, I think he needs to be now reminded that what you give to the sport is what you're going to get out of it. It's not the other way around. The sport is not looking to give you and elevate you. This sport is unrewarded. It's brutal. It chased Klopp away from here with yellow teeth and nothing. They gave him a Carabao and they slapped him on his bum and told him to get out of here. Listen, this sport, you can pour your heart, you can pour your soul into it, but you have to continually dig to get something out of it. And I feel like for Cole, it's weird. It feels like the talent didn't go anywhere. The skill is still obviously there. It feels like the application, the desire, the hunger, the wanting to prove yourself. It feels like that's what is going. And for me, that's the one you have to catch fast, because if that goes, you end up like Grealish. Yeah. It's just that simple. All the talent in the world, no desire, no hunger, no motivation. And I feel like that's the important part. And I didn't like him saying after the team just won in dominant fashion, because you didn't score, "Oh, I'll be back."
Oh, yeah.
I feel like that's isolating yourself from the team.
I needed to
just a great team win.
That's something like, why are you looking for a goal? We won.
And that's why he came back the next game. What? Desperate to try to get the goal, because he has already said, "I'll be back." So you want to.
That's what I didn't like to see. I don't like to see.
It's about the team.
I don't like to see like desperate people going after goals.
Yeah. I thought what he should have done is saying, "We won the game. Proud of the boys." Simple as that.
Yeah.
Even if you are secretly desperate, which obviously
you are, but don't
you know what I mean? Don't wear that. It's like a bad cologne. People can smell it from a distance, and obviously things start going wrong. So, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to add that. Like, I think that will send a very bad message to the dressing room, because the players will feel like, "Oh."
Yeah, it's almost like, "Oh, we're here to prop him up."
Yeah.
Like if he doesn't get a goal, then the mood isn't all the way bright.
And to be fair to those guys, man, they tried to help him. Like I saw Enzo, try to get him on the when they're trying to get someone to score goals, right? You guys.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie. If I was Jackson and Noni, I'll recreate that penalty thing. This time I'll come and give him the ball. Go. You need it. Now you need it. You need it. You see how we felt then when we were begging you. We just wanted to get something, just a small bonus to send to my family. And you didn't want to give me. Now you need it. I'll go give him the ball self, because And that's the beauty of it, bro. Life is so funny.
It
Like,
is, man.
when he was flying, scoring 5-6 goals, he was greedily grabbing every pen, not even trying to bless nobody. Now you're desperate. You need something, anything.
But if
it is not going right for
you
you.
guys are
But
cold, would you take the next pen?
yeah, no, he has to keep taking them, 1,000%.
Yeah.
Especially the higher
Yes.
stakes. For me, I think his next goal needs to be a high stakes goal. His next goal needs to be a goal that gets you comfortably in top 4 conversations where you now are. Like it needs to be a 6-pointer against one of the other top 4 teams. And it needs to be like an 88th minute. If we didn't win this game, we weren't getting top 4. It's weird to say that because if his next goal is just a goal, it makes all of this feel kind of eh. But if his next goal is a goal, it erases all of this.
Yeah.
Like it's like it never happened.
Yeah.
The Premier League,
And things change fast in football. Like we remember all those things, and we're like, okay, cool.
Like you see Madison, Roy Keane criticizes him. He goes and scores a meaningless goal. Really, like let's be honest, it wasn't like oh my god, yeah, put Spurs in champs, and he does his celebration, shoots all this, and now we're back where doing nonsense. So my thing is, the next goal needs to have importance because otherwise, who did you really silence? Oh, Cole Palmer can score against Ipswich, or he can score against. We already knew that.
And
we
what
need
better
to know
game to do that
if you're
than Arsenal at the Emirates? If you by chance what this podcast, that's a message, man.
I'm telling you, man.
I'm saying
that's a perfect stage at the Emirates.
What did Michael Irvin say? What are you prepared to do about it? I'm not nervous. I'm just saying.
Adams, I wanted to ask you about Chelsea's top 4 expectations. It's looking like a very interesting top 4 race, right?
It's going down to the final day.
I think you're more confident now, though, right, Adams?
Yeah. I mean, those 2 games. Hey, look, Southampton and Leicester. Thank you for coming to the league, man. Those guys.
Those 6 points are crucial.
Those 6 points. Right
12 points, really.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So I feel like we can build on that. But like when you watch us play, you don't know where the goal is coming from. Let's be honest. We look so predictable. Too predictable. And one thing that hasn't been a feature of our game lately is, shots outside the box. And the last 2 games, we saw Rhys James score a very good goal outside the box against Copenhagen and then Cucurella. Shout out Cucurella, by the way. It was reminding me of Marcos Alonso. Those clutch goals. But yeah, he's turned it around, and yeah, I might have a shout for player of the season. Who knows?
For Chelsea?
Yeah, Chelsea.
Okay, just making sure. I mean, no. I mean, of course, like I don't think it will be anybody but Salah. I'm just saying.
Maybe left back of the season. Maybe.
Possibly. I think Lewis Kelly will have a shout as well.
I don't think Skelly has done much.
Left back, as in left back on the bench because he keeps getting red cards.
Exactly.
Man.
Now that kid is a funny kid, man. I don't know how he didn't get sent off in that Champions League.
Yeah,
that was an egregious decision.
Yeah.
But what a very strange kid. It's like he doesn't have the vicious or wicked reds. It's just silly reds. It's just so stupid. Like head loss. But
it's a great talent.
But yeah, the top 4 race is interesting. I feel like it deserves its own conversation, but obviously we're out of time. And if we start speaking about the Shepherd, Nuno, and Forest, now people will even fall asleep more. So let's just respect our viewers and keep things at the top of the table. What is your prediction for the top 4? Let's do a top 6 prediction, and we can round off that way.
Top 6,
starting with you, Pius, as the champion.
You don't have to say your team. Don't say your team. Just start from second.
No, I will have to
say your team proudly, man. Say their full name, self.
Adam, tell me not to say my team. So let me.
Merseyside Red.
Merseyside Red, yes. And our next Premier League game, by the way, is the Merseyside Derby. But that's by the way. So first position, Liverpool champions. Yeah, champions. Thank you. Why is everywhere quiet? I was expecting another guy to roll.
You've exhausted all our clapping.
Yep. This is the nicest.
So yeah,
Now
No facts.
Now we start comparing your championship to other championships. So
If you like compare, if you like don't compare. Championship is championship. Okay, so Liverpool first position. I think Arsenal will do enough to hold on to second position. Now this is where it gets interesting. Nottingham Forest currently occupies third position. I think they will lose that spot. I'm going to give third position to Manchester City. Manchester City will finish third, and I think it's between Nottingham Forest. I think Chelsea will finish fourth position, and Nottingham Forest will finish fifth.
yeah.
And that's my prediction for. Okay, and then the sixth position. So there's Brighton, there's Bournemouth, and Fulham. Any of those teams can take sixth position. And there's also Newcastle as well. Oof, that's a tough one. Yeah, let me give it to Bournemouth. Bournemouth finish sixth. Yep. By the way, Bournemouth, man, I like fair play. I like the way they play. I enjoyed the game yesterday against Spurs.
Of course you did.
Those guys, man, Raiola, man, great guy.
Bring,
I actually hope he goes to Spurs.
bring.
Actually,
But
yeah. All right.
Adams, how about you?
Yeah, Liverpool, Arsenal. I'm gonna go Man City. Actually, no, man. I think I'm gonna go Chelsea. I'm going Chelsea third.
Chelsea third.
Yeah, I'm going Chelsea third.
Wow.
I'll go City fourth, and then Nottingham Forest fifth. Sixth is probably going to be Villa.
They've been kind of inconsistent.
Yeah, I'm rooting for Bournemouth.
I think I'm going. I'm going. So Liverpool first, of course. I think Arsenal will get second. I think they'll do just about enough. I think Forest end up with third and City get fourth. That's the way I see it. I think when you're dealing with all these teams that are used to the relegation fight, they can absolutely close out a season, and that's why I never want them to cross March still in those positions because it's too dangerous. But yeah, I'm thinking Forest third, City fourth, Chelsea fifth, and I'm giving Brighton sixth.
Brighton sixth. Interesting.
And that's it.
That's it.
And
Fair enough.
Look, as long as we make Champions League, man, I don't care where we finish.
I think top five will get Champions League. So at the end of the day, I can see Forest holding on to that third position. I just don't know why.
I just don't. I don't want to see them in Champions League, man. I'm sorry.
They've won it twice. They're Champions League heritage.
Man.
Champions League heritage.
I was seeing pictures of their 78. I think they won it in 78. I'm like, wow, fair enough, man.
Okay.
Heritage.
And then speaking of Champions League guys, who is progressing? How do you see who's turning around their deficit?
So some very difficult fixtures, man. I see Madrid going through Real Madrid. I see obviously Liverpool. I said that earlier. Bayern looks like they've done enough.
Barcelona,
It looks like I think they've done enough for sure.
Yeah. Barcelona
are going through. Barcelona are going through.
Yeah, they're through.
Yeah, so seems straightforward. Okay, that's not Villa as well, true, right?
Yeah,
3-1.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be it's gonna be Villa versus Liverpool, Arsenal versus Real Madrid, Bayern versus who's in that bracket? I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't have so much
two bad
knowledge
teams.
of the side of the brackets.
No, Barcelona's on the other side of it.
Dortmund.
There's Inter now, final. I think Inter.
Yeah. So Inter, Bayern, Barcelona, and another bad team. There. Who cares?
So you guys are not predicting. I think I'm going to buck your trend. I feel like there's going to be somebody's going to overturn the deficit. I just hope it's not PSG. That is going to happen.
You can see it being PSG. They've been absolutely scary this season. So
they have.
You guys should definitely be on
guard. It's going to be a very good game.
I don't think all the fixtures are going to go correctly. I think somebody's going to overturn something.
I think so too. I think there might be one surprise. Not a surprise, but I mean one comeback win.
If it's PSG against Liverpool, I'm going to hold my hands up and say fair play.
And I mean, that would be good for us because Salah will be like, okay,
Salah will be fine.
We'll definitely won't be fine if you lose that fixture. But on that note, we got a full week coming up. We'll be here again next weekend. Hopefully, Chooks will finally be here to
Hey,
give
man,
his guy
I
the
think
honor.
Chicks is missing, right?
Yeah, it's time to put out one of those milk bottle
Yeah, I think
signs. I think it's time.
Yeah,
He's been missing for quite a while. We need to find our boy.
yeah, we need to find him.
He's living like his manager, running away from press conference.
That is a good note to end on right there.
All right, boys.
All right, guys.
So
thank you guys for listening. Like, subscribe, all of that.
Right.
You know the vibes. Interact, comment, all that.